Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the penultimate pitch. I'm sure you're pleased to get to the end. My name is James Dearsley. I am the CEO of Verv. We're an AI-driven climate solution that is really focused predominantly on the HVAC system. And really, we're trying to do what Intel did with the laptop and the computers, but actually to make smarter and more efficient HVAC and refrigeration systems. We're currently in the process of looking at a Series A to close later on this year, and are looking at raising a £4 million raise. You're probably familiar with HVAC being an incredibly large consumer of electricity. It's already responsible for 10% of global energy consumption. And the fact is, this problem will only expedite in coming years, in particular with the Middle and the Far East, having a huge drain on this energy consumption, with 2 billion units already in the field, and that's expected to triple by 2050. However, the real challenge actually sits in the fact that there are three factors here. Number one, fundamentally, HVAC systems are just inefficient. 45% of energy is wasted from these systems. But they're also incredibly expensive to maintain. HVAC maintenance annually is a $78.5 billion industry. It's traditional. You send electronic engineers around every 3, 6, or 12 months, really doing an analog and manual job. But not only that, it's massively difficult to manage these units as well. If you look outside and you see all these units on the top of the rooftops, it's all fine if you're running with a building management system, but actually 87% of buildings under 50,000 square feet have no building management system in order to control these units, let alone anything else attributed to the building. So let me just introduce the solution. So really what you've got here is a range of different products that Verv has, and we are creating the electrical boards which actually can sit inside these sort of dumb analog boxes or receptacles which will be fitted into these HVAC systems. These are patent-protected boards, and they can actually deal with both new and, importantly, the retrofit market, which is really one of the biggest challenges that any technology or innovation system has today. Importantly, what we've been able to do within this system is actually look after the entire power side within systems. So we can deal with anything from small 16 amp solutions all the way up to 100 plus amps, which means that we can deal with anything from small domestic air conditioning systems all the way up to your large data center cooling infrastructure, chilling plants, etc. So there's an entire suite of products dealing with all forms of HVAC and refrigeration. Predominantly the three things that we do, we're looking really at the very, very basics of energy metering and monitoring. That is the foundation stone of everything that we do. There is a surprising challenge, especially when you have no BMS, which is dealing with device management. If people leave units on with no BMS, how do you turn them off? The more exciting thing, perhaps, is the predictive maintenance of these machines and actually looking at anomaly detection and fault detection. Those are the three areas that we focus on. So going into that in a little bit more detail, when you're looking at that sort of energy measurement side, we focus on two areas. So we look at both voltage and current, a really important distinction when you're looking at power quality data, in particular in terms of a visionary approach to what we can do, which is actually looking at grid level power quality data, which is a later stage when we go outside of perhaps the HVAC system. But you'll also see words up there like power harmonics and voltage harmonics, and that's because really where predictive maintenance comes in is where it gets really interesting and exciting. We're measuring at 10 kilohertz, which means that we're looking at 10,000 data points every single second. And that is where we're looking at the energy wave harmonics that actually flow through these systems and are able to pick out these detections of these faults. Just as an example, the bottom corner here is looking at what a block filter looks like in its wave harmonics. In the top, you're looking at actually F-gas leaks. F-gases flow through HVAC systems and are 2,000 times more damaging in their global warming potential than general carbon dioxide. We can use that in a real-time monitoring and detection. If you look at some of the clients that we're currently trusted by, they've all got a range of different challenges within HVAC. If you look at the top here, Waits, JLL, they're global asset managers and facilities managers who are now being challenged not to do a traditional maintenance when it comes to HVAC, but actually looking at what they call condition-based monitoring, using data to understand the faults that these systems have. You've got companies like, for example, the NHS, which have huge problems in the National Health Service when they have a BMS centralized system, but then they have temporary buildings all around which don't have BMSs. How do they control devices and understand their measurement requirements? All the way through to companies like Cisco. They're already working with the likes of Honeywell and Siemens, which deal with building management systems, and Cisco recognize this considerable marketplace when there are no building management systems. Who do they deal with? Hopefully that's where we come in. As a result of some commercial evolutions that we've done in the last 9 months, we are on a rapid growth trajectory. Verv has been around a while. We have now hit product market fit in both our direct and our newly established license and manufacturing process, which is dealing with the manufacturers and distributors of these sorts of enclosures, which mean that we've been hitting, in the last 6 months, £2.5 million worth of license sales, which is really expediting our growth. Not only that, we are patent protected. We've got an IP portfolio worth over £14 million. Like I said, my name is James Dearsley. I'm the CEO of Verv, and do help us challenge the HVAC market with our Series A later this year. Thank you.